On this week's edition of Smackdown Live, WWE's United States Champion R-Truth issued another open challenge for the title. You might recall from last week's episode of Smackdown, Truth announced that he wanted to be like his childhood hero John Cena. Again, we must reiterate, Cena is 41 and R-Truth is 47. And since he wanted to follow in his footsteps, he started his own open challenge. Something Cena did when he held the belt in 2015, and last week, both Andrade and Rey Mysterio answered the challenge. After a hard-fought battle, Truth managed to retain the title. This week, both Andrade and Mysterio answered the challenge again, but this time so did Samoa Joe, making it a fatal four-way match. None of these competitors have been United States Champion, so it would be interesting to see the title on any one of them. Joe was booked very dominantly in this match from the start, working on all three opponents in and out of the ring, but things took a turn after Truth hit a dropkick on Joe into the barricade. Mysterio and Andrade, who are no stranger to each other in the ring, started battling one another, and from there on, the action got extremely hot, with Rey Mysterio hitting a flying crossbody on Joe, flying head scissors takedown on Andrade from Rey, and hitting an ST Joe on Truth, but Truth managed to come back, slamming Rey onto Joe, and hitting a 5-knuckle shuffle on both of them. Eventually, Joe tried to get Truth into a coquina clutch, but Rey managed to stop it with a 619. Andrade then took out Rey with a sunset bomb to the outside mat, and from there, Zelina Vega interfered, but Carmella quickly stepped in and delivered a super kick, taking her out. Rey hit a destroyer, 619, and a frog splash on Andrade for a 2 count, as Joe made the save with a senton. Joe then hit a Uranagi on Andrade to get the 3 count and win the United States Championship for the first time. But why? Why has WWE put the title on him after Truth held it for only 35 days? Well, we have 3 reasons why. Number 1. R-Truth was just a transitional champion. He might not look his age, but Truth is almost reaching 50 years old and started his wrestling career all the way back in 1997, so it's a given that he doesn't have much time left as an in-ring competitor and retirement could be just around the corner. It's sad to say, but his title reign was just a reward from WWE for being taken out of the Rumble by Nia Jax. It's certain that there were no long-term plans and WWE was playing hot potato with the title until they could put it on the shoulders of someone who can have a decent run with it, that being Samoa Joe. Number 2. A deserving consolation prize. Samoa Joe made his main roster debut on Raw at the beginning of 2017, but after a year on the Red brand, he was drafted to Smackdown Live, where he entered the championship title picture and feuded with the phenomenal one AJ Styles. The feud would become personal as Joe claimed Styles cared more about being WWE champion than his own family. This led to Joe playing a number of mind games with Styles, but even though they had 32 championship matches together, yes, this does include house shows, Joe was defeated in 31 of them. The only time he managed to defeat him at SummerSlam was via disqualification, hence no title change. This win is unfortunately a consolation prize for not ever winning the WWE Championship after chasing it for more than a year and a half. After his feud with Styles, Joe seemed to be an afterthought to WWE and not booked strong, as he was normally the first man to be eliminated in multi-man matches, quickly eliminated by McIntyre at the Survivor Series, and being the first one eliminated in the Elimination Chamber match, slowly losing credibility as a strong and monstrous heel. Samoa Joe is a solid wrestler and has shown incredible mic skills over the last few weeks, but it seems that this is not enough to become WWE Champion, rather one below it. This was sadly the same for Shinsuke Nakamura, who failed to capture the championship from Styles. Instead, they also put the US Championship on him, as the WWE just simply does not see them as major champions. And number 3, John Cena vs Samoa Joe at Wrestlemania 35. After Joe won the title, and it was mentioned that he had not won the big one. Again showing off his flawless mic skills, Joe retorted by saying it wasn't the fact that he couldn't get the job done, but rather the rest of the roster having their prayers answered. During the interview, he issued a warning to any challenger who feels they can step up to him. He didn't mention anyone but John Cena and stated that he's not a hero and doesn't respect him in any way. Whilst dropping Cena's name could have just been a reference to Truth's childhood hero, WWE could be teasing a challenge between the two on the grandest stage of them all. A dream match between Cena and Joe with the US title on the line. You might be thinking that these two have never met in the ring, but they have on a few occasions. One being in a tag match on Raw in 2017, where Cena tagged with Roman Reigns to take on Joe and The Miz, and at the Survivor Series that year where both were on opposing teams representing both Raw and Smackdown respectively. They have also faced each other in a one-on-one match, but this was at a WWE live event where Cena went over twice. The two also share a bit of history together as they both went to the same wrestling school in 2000 and became very good friends.
Go ahead and guys, tie up and do some variations and I'll describe it as we go. We've got the headlock. Now from the headlock, we're going to show an escape. That's a top wrist lock from a headlock. Okay. We are from a headlock again. We've got a hammer lock.
Joe mentioned in an interview about facing John Cena and the history they shared together, as he went on to having a huge career in WWE as multiple-time champion, while Samoa Joe was on a different path, making a name for himself in Ring of Honor and winning a number of championships in TNA. It's been 18 years. 18 years ago, myself and John Cena had a match, and based off that match, WWE inevitably hired him and brought him along and I went my own separate way. It's been 18 years since me and John have been in the ring together. John, you know, early in my career, he's been a close personal friend and we drove a lot of miles together, and it would be an absolute pleasure to reunite in the ring and once again smash him in the face and take everything from him. Though Cena wasn't booked for the Royal Rumble, despite being advertised, he was supposed to enter into a heated feud with NXT call-up Lars Sullivan. It was rumoured that this feud would lead up to a Mania match, but that isn't happening anymore, as Sullivan had what was apparently a panic attack backstage and went AWOL. After giving Sullivan a chance at a big-time feud, it seems that Vince McMahon has now passed on him. Sources still confirm that Cena has been booked for WrestleMania, but his opponent has not been 100% confirmed. Rumours had circulated that R-Truth was the one to face Cena at WrestleMania, but this wouldn't make too much sense as the two are mega baby faces, a dynamic that Vince hates. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer Live also commented on the possibility of this match being planned for WrestleMania. From watching this show, so there were rumours going around that R-Truth was going to wrestle John Cena at WrestleMania, and I checked and everyone said absolutely not. But they wouldn't tell me who he's wrestling. I got from watching this show tonight that AJ Styles was going to wrestle Randy Orton, and John Cena is going to wrestle Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. I don't know. Neither of these are matches that I know are going to happen. It's not like the three-way or some of the matches were like Triple H and Batista. I mean, I'm directly told this, it's just my insinuation from watching TV and following everything. Again, it's not confirmed, but since WWE has dropped all plans of Cena entering into a feud with Lars Sullivan, they could have him in a quick feud against Joe, and this time Cena should put Joe over as champion. Cena has had history with the belt, and was the first one to make open challenges with the United States Championship. Cena is still a busy man in Hollywood, but this feud doesn't need too much build. Wrestling Insider Slice Wrestling also tweeted this on 28 February 2019. WWE officials are planning to give the United States title more of a higher status, as WWE feels the belt has been lost in the shuffle as of late. They would like to have an explosive United States Championship match at WrestleMania 35. The idea of something explosive might not suggest that there will be a barbed wire rope exploding death match, but something that will elevate the title back to the prestige it once had by having a marquee match at the Showcase of the Immortals, as it's certainly true the belt has been lost in the shuffle and needs to be placed at the same level as the Intercontinental Championship on Raw. But what do you guys think? Would you like to see Cena face Samoa Joe at WrestleMania 35? Let us know your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.